Hello and welcome back to the Dr. Washbrains podcast. Today we're diving into a topic that is crucial not only for people living with diabetes but also for anyone who's serious about their long-term health and well-being. HbA1c. Too many alphabets, I know. But this blood marker has become a valuable tool for understanding blood sugar control, metabolic health, and risk for chronic complications. Whether you're monitoring prediabetes, managing diabetes, or simply health conscious, HbA1c is a measure worth paying attention to. Let's dive in. First off, let's get to the basics. What is HbA1c? HbA1c stands for glycated hemoglobin. Glycated means the presence of sugar attaching itself to a protein, lipid, or a nucleic acid molecule. Hemoglobin is the protein in your red blood cells that transports oxygen throughout the body. But when there is glucose, sugar in your blood, some of it sticks to the hemoglobin, creating what we call glycated hemoglobin or HbA1c. For example, when we talk about sugar syrup or chashni in almost all of our sweets, imagine a gulab jamun right out of the oil. Then we put it right into the chashni or the sugar syrup. Now imagine that gulab jamun to be your red blood cell and the sugar syrup as your sugar. That sugar is what you can call HbA1c. The longer your blood sugar stays elevated, the more glucose sticks to your hemoglobin, just like how blood sugar works. The more elevated your sugar is, the more of it will stick to your blood and elevate your HbA1c levels. Now, since red blood cells live for about 90 to 120 days, unlike gulab jamuns, your HbA1c levels, they provide an average of your blood sugar levels over the past 2 to 3 months. Imagine you taking a picture. That picture tells you about the present. That picture can be compared to you testing your sugar by yourself at home. Now, the HbA1c is like a film where the main star is your blood sugar level. Now, HbA1c is usually measured as a percentage. So, when the resulting number is below 5.7%, it is normal, healthy, with minimal risk of diabetes. Now, when the number is between 5.7% and 6.4%, it falls into the pre-diabetes category, meaning your blood sugar is above normal. And without lifestyle changes, there is a higher risk of progressing to diabetes. Now, when it is 6.5% or above, this is classified as diabetes. The higher your HbA1c, the greater your risk for complications associated with high blood sugar. Now, an important point to note is that high HbA1c levels are linked to significant health risks. These risks they include heart diseases, nerve damage, kidney diseases, and vision problems. But the good news is that even a 1% reduction in HbA1c can significantly lower these risks. For example, if your HbA1c is at 8%, bringing it down to 7% can have a meaningful impact on your long-term health. Now, some of you might be wondering how HbA1c relates to those daily blood sugar checks. Let's clarify this. I did say earlier that your daily glucose tests are like a photograph that you click, which gives you a snapshot of your blood sugar level in the moment. HbA1c, on the other hand, is more like the average of over a few months. So if you check your blood sugar in the morning, it might be within range. But if your HbA1c is high, it could mean your blood sugar spikes at other times during the day. माने सुबह के टाइम जब आपने अपना ब्लड शुगर लेवल चेक करा तो वो नॉर्मल आ सकता है, मगर शाम को रात को स्पेशली खाना खाने के बाद आपकी शुगर बढ़ सकती है और आपको इस चीज़ का आइडिया भी नहीं है क्योंकि आपने उस टाइम लंच डिनर के बाद टेस्ट नहीं किया। इसी वजह से ऐसे हिडन स्पाइक्स की वजह से, ऐसी इर्रेगुलरिटीज़ की वजह से आपको अपना HbA1c टेस्ट करवाना ज़रूरी रहता है। इसी वजह से हम डॉक्टर्स आपसे HbA1c को चेक करवाने के लिए कहते हैं। दोनों रेगुलर डेली शुगर चेक्स और HbA1c बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं डॉक्टर्स को बताने में कि शुगर का कितना इफ़ेक्ट बॉडी पे हो रहा है। Now, both of these numbers, they help in establishing whether a new disease or any morbidity is being caused by diabetes and साथ के साथ हमें किसी और डिजीज को ट्रीट करने के लिए एक गाइडलाइन मिल जाती है। एक बार फिर से कहना चाहूंगा, if you have been asked to check your blood sugar every morning and it seems fine, then it is absolutely normal. But do get your HbA1c levels checked as well, so that अगर कोई irregular increase हो रहा है in your blood sugar levels, your physician and you, both of you guys can take better care of your health. इसी वजह से both daily and HbA1c are valuable for getting a complete picture of your blood sugar profile. Now let's talk about how you can control your HbA1c, and the first step is lifestyle. Stabilizing blood sugar often starts with choosing foods that release glucose slowly. These are low glycemic foods with whole grains like quinoa, barley, legumes like chickpeas, kidney beans, vegetables, and foods rich in fiber. They keep you feeling fuller for longer and reduce the risk of blood sugar spikes. Adding fiber and protein to meals slows glucose absorption, which makes fiber and protein your best friends. Now, when in doubt, कोई भी इंसान डायबिटिक और नॉट जब कभी भी अपना डाइट प्लान बना रहा होता है, बहुत सारी जगहों पे डाउट्स आ जाते हैं कि अच्छा अब यहाँ पे क्या भरा जाए कि खाया जा सके। कभी भी जब कभी भी आपको डाउट लग रहा है कि हाँ मेरे को यहाँ पे इस खाली जगह में फॉर एग्जांपल लंच हो गया, डिनर हो गया या फिर कोई भी एक स्नैक हो गया, उस टाइम पर आपको क्या खाना चाहिए? ट्रस्ट मी, add vegetables, add proteins. They will fill you up slowly, and at the very same time, you're not eating junk. It really appeases your gut flora, even and also helps in controlling sugar levels. Now, exercise is another powerful tool. Physical activity helps your body use glucose efficiently, improving insulin sensitivity in your cells. Now, as you exercise, it can increase the amount of glucose that is taken up by the cells when insulin is present by at least 40%. Exercise can improve the ability of skeletal muscles, for example, your biceps, your triceps, to take up more glucose, as your muscles tend to require more energy and nutrients than in the normal, non exercising state, which also changes gene expression. बहुत बहुत सारी स्टडीज से ये फाइनल हुआ है that exercising can lead to changes in how your genes end up expressing themselves, be it your own or in your kids. Also, regular exercise can generate adaptations that help restart antioxidant defense mechanisms. And antioxidants, they improve insulin sensitivity. Please keep in mind that even moderate exercise can make a difference. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, like brisk walking, cycling, or at home workouts. Adding strength training, हफ्ते में चाहे 2 बार ही सही, बहुत यूजफुल है, बहुत ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव है in making things easier. Now let's talk about two often overlooked factors, sleep and stress. Did you know that chronic stress releases cortisol, a hormone that raises blood sugar levels? Managing stress can be essential for controlling HbA1c. Now, if I'm treating a patient who's suffering from diabetes, I almost always make sure to ask about how much they think their day to day stress is, as it gives me a better idea about their sugar levels and developing a treatment plan till the point I can get their test results back. Almost same is the case with sleep. Quality sleep is very crucial. Poor sleep can disrupt insulin regulation, making blood sugar harder to control. Aim for almost 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night to support overall health. Also, lack of sleep releases cortisol that messes up how insulin sensitivity works. मुझे प्रैक्टिस करते हुए ऑलमोस्ट 10 साल हो जाएंगे. हर साल 4 से 5 पेशेंट्स डायबिटीज डेवलप कर लेते हैं बिकॉज दे हैव पुअर स्लीपिंग साइकिल्स. ट्रस्ट मी, your sleep is directly related to your blood sugar levels. Just like weight management. Extra body fat, especially around the abdomen, can reduce insulin sensitivity. But the good news is that even a 5 to 10% weight loss can help bring down HbA1c levels and improve insulin sensitivity. For those with higher HbA1c levels, lifestyle changes alone might not be enough and medication may become necessary. Metformin is often the first line of treatment for type 2 diabetes. It works by decreasing glucose production in the liver and improving insulin sensitivity. Then we have GLP-1 agonists. These drugs, they increase insulin production after meals and help reduce glucose levels. They can be beneficial for those who struggle to keep post meal blood sugar spikes in check. So, SGLT2 inhibitors work by helping the kidneys remove excess glucose from the bloodstream, which can help lower HbA1c. Then, insulin therapy is essential for type 1 diabetes and in some advanced cases of type 2 diabetes. There are various types of it, such as rapid acting, intermediate acting, long acting, which are tailored to your specific blood sugar control needs. Now, understanding how these medications work and communicating with your doctor about potential side effects or changes in your regimen is key for effective management. Now, I want you to understand that diabetes, a chronic condition, can lead to various long term complications, and that long term might not at all look so long term. These complications include heart and blood vessel problems, such as damage to blood vessels, which is caused by high blood sugar levels, which increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and other blood vessel issues. Additionally, diabetes can cause kidney damage, leading to chronic kidney disease and eventually kidney failure. Nerve damage or diabetic neuropathy can result in pain, numbness, tingling, and loss of sensation, particularly in the feet and legs. Eye problems, including damage to blood vessels in the eye, can lead to vision impairments like blurry vision, light sensitivity, and eventually blindness. Adults के अंदर blindness का leading cause is diabetes. Diabetes can also increase the risk of skin and mouth conditions such as bacterial and fungal infections, dry skin, and other problems. Furthermore, people with diabetes often develop steatotic liver disease or fatty liver, which can progress to more severe liver damage. Foot complications, including poor blood flow and nerve damage, can also occur. Additionally, diabetes can lead to hearing impairment, cognitive impairment, and depression. Now, preventing these complications means aiming to keep HbA1c within the target range. Regular checkups with your healthcare provider, monitoring your blood sugar, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, they all play a part in this. If you're managing diabetes, getting a full blood workup every 3 to 6 months is a good practice. Now, it is worth noting that HbA1c targets can vary depending on the individual. For example, a younger person with type 1 diabetes might have a stricter target than an older adult with other health conditions. These targets they aim to achieve glycemic control or sugar control, which can prevent organ damage and other complications which are associated with diabetes. HbA1c is a widely accepted marker of glycemic control and correlates with the risk of diabetic complications. Now, factors which are considered when setting individualized HbA1c targets include the duration of diabetes, life expectancy, comorbidities, and the risk of hypoglycemia, mane low blood sugar. For most non-pregnant adults, the recommended target HbA1c value is less than 7%. However, the target level may vary depending on a patient's other circumstances. For example, such targets may be less stringent in the elderly. Also, continuous glucose monitoring or CGM devices can be used to measure blood glucose levels constantly. Today, we've covered a lot about HbA1c, from what it is to how it is measured to what it means for your health. Remember, HbA1c is a valuable indicator giving insights that can help guide your long term health decisions. Small, consistent changes can lead to big improvements, and controlling HbA1c is very much within any individual's reach. Thank you for listening to the Dr. Washbane's podcast. Remember, taking charge of your health starts with understanding it. We hope today's episode has been enlightening and empowering for your health journey. Stay tuned for our next episode, and until then, let's work on making health a dinner table conversation.